think the next thing is adjournment. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
I'd like to make a statement if that's okay. Thank you. I sit here today in the what used to be the Board of Education room. I was elected along with Ms. Cummings about 6 years ago, and I'm about 45 days until my term ends. I want to thank the citizens of Farmington Hills, and those in West Bloomfield who actually voted for me almost 6 years ago, or actually 6 years ago. As I said earlier, Dr. Herrera made a comment that one of the things that we have troubles with here in this district is not the behavior of the kids, but it's the adult behavior. And unfortunately, it's time for me to go at this point, and it's with great regret that I'm going to step down with 45 days left in this term, because it's the adult behavior that has led us to where we are today. I was the first elected African-American male and the longest serving African-American male to sit in this position. When I came on with Ms. Cummings, I think we were both excited and eager, and I don't know if I'm speaking for her or not, but I think there were some great opportunities here, and this board has just completely changed. It's really unfortunate that we've actually gotten to a position where we can't even disagree without being disagreeable. I've actually had to file a harassment suit against one of the board members. It's just unfortunate. You know, we have a board member that is named as a witness against us, not only in one potential claim, but the same board member is listed twice, and they're listed as the first member, you know, the first person. And I'm tired of my reputation being torn apart. I'm tired of, you know, the things that Dr. Herrera has gone through. I'm starting to go through it as well. And for me to walk away with literally 2 meetings left, it bothers me. I sit here today in this very room where I first took this oath, where I first took this oath, where I first sat at this board table, and I took a vow, I took an oath, and I've tried to follow that. There's too much division in this community, and if you don't agree with those who, you know, listen, I'm going to point to Mr. Rich and Mr. Mukamal. We have far different political opinions. And that's okay, because I've worked with Mr. Rich and Mr. Mukamal, and we've agreed, we've disagreed, but it's never gotten to the point where things are where they are today. And that was part of the reason I didn't run again. We need some real change here in this district, and we need to hold people accountable. Unfortunately, this board has a bad history over the last few years of holding people accountable for what they do. And these false allegations and things that come about, they just need to stop. They just truly do. I'm going to have my resignation effective Saturday morning at 12:01. So whatever I need to run the rest of the week out to help Ms. Green or any other board member, I will gladly do. Ms. Cummings, it's been a long 6 years, but it's been a pleasure. Again, we haven't always agreed, but you know, Ms. Cummings is very professional. I respect that. She comes to the table to work, and you know, I look at Ms. Green and the things that she's had to go through. And I don't know where all this started. I don't understand where we as the board became the enemy. Dr. Herrera came aboard and he put some good things in place, and it's really unfortunate. But Ms. Green, it's been a pleasure serving with you. You were my son's teacher back at Hillside. I'm sorry, his principal. Let me correct that. His principal back at Hillside, and your love for this district is unlike any I've ever seen. Your love, your care, your concern. Thank you. Mr. Mukamal, thank you very much for what you've done. It's unfortunate you weren't reelected. Mr. Rich, thank you as well. And again, I just want to say you guys are phenomenal, and I hope this district holds people accountable. And we got to get out of this pettiness that we've been in, this organization running things and everybody else. We've got to get along. And the mere fact that you have a couple of board members who are out here pushing privately for a superintendent of color really disgusts me, especially what we had to do tonight. And I hope that this district comes forward and moves forward. But I just want to again say thank you to all the citizens that supported and voted for me over the years. And I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks back with the family and get some family time together. And again, thank you all. And again, Ms. Cummings, it was great spending 6 years with you, and congratulations on everything. And Ms. Green, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I'll move for the adjournment or whatever after you.
Not
So I'll
yet.
turn it
Okay,
back to
hold
you.
on. We have a couple other board comments, but I'd also like to thank you for your service, Mr. Johnson, and we accept that resignation, but thank you for your service. I have Mrs. Weems, and then I saw Mrs. Cummings' hand, and then I have something to say as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that this is a really sad day here, a really sad day for Farmington Public Schools. We've lost a superintendent, and we've had to censor a board member. And while I agree with the censor, I just don't agree with kind of how it was conducted. I'd like to address adult behavior, and I'd like to really in the future work more collaboratively on matters going forward. I have a ton of, I have great expectations for this district, and I have no doubt that we've got people here who will ensure that this district is successful, and that is what I have every confidence in. So while today is a pretty sad day for Farmington Public Schools, I believe there's a bright future, and I really look forward to those who are going to be joining us here very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Cummings?
Mr. Johnson, I gave you a thumbs up earlier because you were speaking for me when you said when we joined the board almost 6 years ago, we were excited. And we were really pleased to be able to take on the challenge and learn the new roles and serve the community. Thank you for your service. This is it's a challenging position, and I do appreciate the time that you've put in here, and I wish you and your family well. Sounds like you're planning some family time over the next few weeks. And I do hope that moving forward, as I will also be departing the board at the end of my term at the end of December, I wish nothing but the best for the board. I hope the board can work collaboratively because that is how this board is going to get work done for the district. And that's this board's job, is to get work done, move the district forward. And I'm here to help. I will always be supportive of the board, and I'm happy to support if that's something that's needed. Also, I see a lot of names on my screen and some numbers, and I just want to thank everyone who is here this evening. I think a lot of people are here for the strategic planning that is going to be put over to another meeting. So thank you for your time and your efforts, and we do appreciate you being here and look forward to seeing you when we get that back on the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Rich.
Thank you. As my colleagues have said, this is a sad day in our district. We're losing a superintendent. We have a board member stepping down with 45 or so days left of his term due to difficult circumstances all around. We need to be spending these next few weeks preparing for what we are going to do next. We need to make sure that we are on solid ground for our students, for our staff, for everyone here in our community, to make sure that we are doing what is best for them. Mr. Johnson, thank you for your service on the board. I know anyone who has heard Mr. Johnson and me speak, especially outside of meetings, but sometimes inside of meetings as well, no, we do not agree on a good number of things, but we always know that we are here for our community. We are here for the students, for the staff, for everyone here, and for the right reasons. We have a lot of work to do. But please, everyone, during the season, please remember to mask up and keep your family close as long as you're in the same pod or same household. Please be safe.
Thank you. For the past 35 years, I have dedicated my life to being an educator, and serving the Farmington Public Schools. I have served as a teacher, principal, and school member. I truly, with all of my heart, believe in and love our students and staff, and I have always wanted to make Farmington Public Schools the best place to learn and grow. It has been my passion and my love. Throughout my life, I have served as a servant leader in many leadership positions and always approached them with dedication and integrity, often sacrificing time with my family or taking care of myself. 2 years ago, I decided to run for the school board in order to lend my knowledge to enhancing the overall success of the district, especially in the area of curriculum and instruction. During my time on the board, we have hired one of the most intelligent and top-notch superintendents in the state, Dr. Robert Herrera. Together, Dr. Herrera and I developed a committee structure that increased working relationships between central office and the Board of Education. The committee structure also allowed for more transparency and voice. I also worked with Dr. Herrera to begin revitalizing the 3 pillars approach, which would have central office, the Board of Education, and the union working collaboratively together for the common good of the district. I have led the district toward revitalizing the strategic plan to increase a stronger focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion, and future-focused classrooms to prepare our students for the 21st century. I have also championed the need to have ongoing program evaluations and review of data to ensure that we are utilizing the best programs and successfully preparing our students to be productive citizens. Unfortunately, during the past 2 years, in spite of my very best efforts, I have been unable to accomplish everything I had hoped for when I ran for the Board of Education. I have tried to bring the board together through the offer of restorative practice, in addition to holding various workshops with MASB. I have failed. The behavior of 2 board members has interfered with coming together as a united board. Their behavior has been destructive instead of constructive and has created a climate of toxicity. One member attacks both current and past board members, as well as central office and other district employees. The other focuses on micromanaging the district administration to a level that interferes and distracts from their important work. As a result, I have spent the majority of my time over the past 2 years managing unprofessional adult behaviors versus focusing on the important work that we have been entrusted to do as a Board of Education. Unfortunately, these constant negative behaviors have taken a toll on my health, and I regretfully find that my health requires that I too must resign. My body will not allow me to continue to tackle these issues. It is not a decision that I have made lightly. I ran for the board to make a positive difference. In addition, the fact that the conduct of these two board members has led to the resignation of Dr. Robert Herrera furthermore underscores their dysfunctional behavior. Again, regretfully, my overall health does not permit me to continue to fight to do what's right for this district. I am hopeful that the new board members will come together and put kids first. My resignation from the Farmington Public School Board of Education is effective the end of the day on Friday, November 20th, 2020. Upon the adjournment of this meeting, any immediate board business and correspondence will be handled by Mr. Johnson until his resignation is effective, while I tend to and address my health issues. I am extremely grateful to all of you who have supported me during this very difficult time. It is with a heavy heart that I step down from the Board of Education, and I apologize to those of you who I am disappointing. Mrs. Cummings.
Thank you, President Green. I'm sorry that it has gotten to this point and you must resign, but I respect your decision, and your health has to come first. So thank you for your service to the board, to the district, and I wish you well.
Thank you, Mrs. Cummings. Mr. Johnson.
Pam, God bless you. I mean, you've put your heart into this, and I know your health obviously comes first, but what drove you there, you know, is unfortunate, and this district is losing, this board is losing someone that loves and cares about this district. You came in and 2 years ago and took over, and I think your leadership has been spot on. You know, we got a new superintendent in, we've, you know, done some great things, and again, you may be gone, but you're not forgotten, and thank you for all that you've done and will continue to do, and appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Rich.
Ms. Green, you and I have talked a lot over the last few years. What many people might not know is that I first spoke with Ms. Green over a decade ago when she was doing the Bountiful Backpack program and was talking with the Mayor's Youth Council as to how to make sure that our students are fed when they're not at school. That dedication and love of our students is something that she's brought from her time at William Grace all the way through her time here as board president. And, you know, we ran at the same time and came onto this board at just about the same time. And, you know, we have been through a lot together, and Ms. Green, I want to thank you for the past 2 years and wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rich. There are no other comments from board members and
So moved.
no future business and no objection. This meeting is adjourned. Have a good
So moved.